Magic Mage from server 243. Today we're going to do something slightly different. We're going to be putting together a lesson plan on skills. This lesson plan is going to be broken up into different parts to help you as a lord, whether you're starting off very fresh in a preparation server or you're looking for a refresh course in Conquest, to understand the skills, those battle reports, how they're interrelated, how you're building your marches with these skills, what the different elements and attributes of these skills are comprised of. So when we're building our marches, we can understand how we can be more offensive or defensive and what skills we may want to have in place as we're counteracting different types of marches. With all basics, we really do want to start at the beginning. So for us, there's a book that's available to you as long as you're not in the Frostborn Wars and in our home world. Within our main screen at the very bottom of our section where we would open up our chats. And this instruction manual is really important to make sure you're re-reviewing it if you haven't seen it, actually reading and delving into it. There's a lot of extremely valuable content within this. It's broken into 3 different sections, and within each section there's multiple chapters and subsections. So there's survival, development, and the king. We are going today focus on development and the particular subsection of immortal skill effect details. And this section is in 3 different parts. The first video we're going to be looking at is really those ultimate skills and your Tower of Knowledge skills. So your ultimate skill, that is the skill that's equipped on your immortal once your immortal's unlocked. It is a skill that you can use as soon as you're starting to utilize that immortal, whether or not it's developed or not. As long as the immortals are locked, you have the access to that immortal and their ultimate skill. Ultimate skills are based off of energy. So as your immortal is regaining energy and that energy is full, they can then unleash their ultimate skill to obtain the advantages within that skill. Conversely, the Tower of Knowledge skills, there are 4 different types of skills. These are selectable skills, at which point you can choose what skill you're placing on your immortal and developing for your overall march. Those skills would be passive skills, grace skills, active skills, and aura skills. We are first going to actually look at our ultimate skills. So when we go to our immortals, as I explained, each immortal is equipped with a skill that you can access once that immortal's unlocked. So that would be that initial skill here. For your unlocked immortals, all those skills are available. And that would be your first skill, always is your ultimate skill. Now your ultimate skill would be an epic skill if it's on an epic immortal. For instance, Quinn's ultimate skill inflicts wounds on all enemy units, preventing them from being healed, increasing attack speed of all units by 7.5%. He also grants cleave to all wind immortals, so their normal attacks deals 15% extra damage to a nearby enemy target that lasts 8 seconds. All of the skills that are highlighted as black are skills that can be developed and enhanced as you are developing your immortal by applying fragments onto that immortal. When you're applying those fragments, they can go from 15% to 50% for the normal attacks dealt and 7.5% to 25% for that increased attack speed. So make sure you're really paying attention to if that is a static number, which would be in blue, such as last 8 seconds. That's a static number. It will never change to the numbers that can change as you're developing a skill, whether it be your immortal or a skill in Tower of Knowledge. As we've identified, ultimate skills are triggered once the immortal is able to regain their complete energy. And when they are at full capacity, 100% energy, that skill is engaged. When we go to our battle reports within Open Arena, we can replay the battle, and you'll notice on the left and right hand sides of our battle, you'll have the different enemy and our march lineups, and within those, you'll see each immortal. The green bar is the individual's HP or overall health points. The orange bar is the energy regain and when the ultimate skills will be triggered. Once triggered, those regain bars will go all the way back to 0, and you have to have them reset before they reach 100 to be able to unleash that ultimate skill a second time. While ultimate skills will give us a massive advantage in a battle, we also have selectable skills from the Tower of Knowledge, which can give us just as much of an advantage, if not even a greater advantage, if applied correctly, so we can ensure those ultimate skills, when triggered, are being as advantageous as we can make them for us. With regards to the Tower of Knowledge, there are 4 different types of skills. You have your passive skills, your gray skills, active skills, and aura skills. And we'll be looking at these skills a little closer. Your passive skills are the skills that take effect based on the immortal's actions during battle. Your gray skills are the skills that take effect immediately at the start of battle and last for a certain duration before ending. Active skills are triggered automatically at regular intervals from the start of your battle until the end, and aura skills apply to all allied units or in all enemy units from the start of the battle. When an immortal has an aura skill and dies, that aura skill will then end with that immortal. So, if you're placing a skill on an immortal and you really need that skill for your survival in your entire march, make sure that the aura skill that you're placing is not on an immortal that you're either using to sacrifice to preserve the duration of your main damage dealer, or it's placed onto a main damage dealer or a secondary damage dealer, so you can ensure that skill is successfully triggering as you need it throughout the duration of the battle and not worrying about the immortal dying and losing that skill. Additionally, you can only equip 1 aura skill at a time on an immortal, so you really want to make sure you are thinking wisely about what aura skills you're equipping, because you can only have 4 aura skills because you have 4 immortals on each march. Aura skills cannot be dispelled. That means they stay on the immortal for the duration of time in which the immortal they're equipped to is living. Should that immortal die, the skill dissolves and you're no longer eligible to receive that skill for the remainder of the battle for your march. Those that are benefiting us are gaining aura type skills, and those aura skills that are benefiting the enemy are reducing aura type effects. So, with regards to the aura skill, those that are benefiting us are gaining aura type skills, and those that benefit the enemy are reducing aura type effects. What this means is when we look at our aura skills within the Tower of Knowledge, and there are multiple aura skills available to us, but I'm going to really look and hone in on 3 different skills. The first skill I'm going to share within the Tower of Knowledge that's an aura skill is on level 35, and that will be Malice. Now, Malice reduces the crit rate of all enemy units by 6%. And what that means is it really would be a benefit that's reducing aura type effect because it's not gaining any skills or benefits for my individual march, but it is reducing the skills of my enemy march because it's reducing the crit value. Similarly, if we go to weakness on level 38, also an aura skill, you'll notice this is reducing the resilience rate of all enemy units. And because it's reducing the enemy unit's resilience rate, that would also be considered a reducing aura type effect because it's affecting the enemies and it's reducing their overall capacity for their resilience. If we go, however, conversely to Shelter, which is also an aura skill, This one's protecting all units on the same side within range with a 50% chance of restoring HP and a recovery rate of 12%, which, as you're learning the skill, can go up to 40% if damage is sustained. And each immortal can only be equipped with this one skill. So there's only one aura skill per an immortal. This effect is not considered a reducing aura type effect because it's not impacting the enemy, it's impacting us individually. So it's considered a gaining aura type skill. Now, aura skills are only one of 4 different types of skills that you can employ. After aura skills, we also have gray skills. And gray skills are skills that are effective immediately as soon as that battle starts. They last for the duration of a predetermined time frame. And that time frame is outlined always in the skill's description. So, for example, energy suppression is a gray skill. It slows the energy regain speed of all enemy troops by 15%. As the skill is learned, it can go up to 50% for the first 12 seconds of the battle. Because it is starting at the battle when it immediately starts and it lasts for 12 seconds, this is a grace skill. There's a certain grace period in which the skill is applied. The third type of skill we're going to be looking at is passive skills. Now, passive skills are available really early on in our Tower of Knowledge. You can unlock a passive skill at level 5, which would be Fortify. Fortify increases your magical defense by 36% in battles. This is unlocked at level 4. It can proceed to be upgraded as we learn the skill up to 60%, and it started at 18%. So, what's interesting about passive skills is they are applied based off of actions our immortals are taking. And looking at just one passive skill, it may be complicated to understand exactly what that means. But as we start to review more passive skills and unlock more passive skills, such as precision, which is increasing your accuracy rate by 4.5%, all the way up to 15% as you are learning and developing the skill, you can start to piece together exactly what actions it means. So in this case here, the action would be the accuracy rate. So when an immortal is making an attack on our enemy opponents, that accuracy rate will be increased because they're performing an attack. When we're thinking of the action of performing an attack, if we go back to our passive skill of Fortify, which is a magical defense, that action taken would be if we are being attacked and we're defending ourselves from a magical attack. So the action taken in this case is a defensive action, where if we're looking at the passive skill Precision, that is an attack or an offensive action that's being taken that is therefore triggering this skill to be enacted. The fourth type of skill you can employ is an active skill. An active skill occurs at regular intervals and is triggered automatically until the end of a battle. We can see an active skill at the Tower of Knowledge level 15 within Silence. Silence is a triggered skill, which makes it an active skill. It has a chance of occurring 13.5%, and that chance can increase as you learn and develop the skill up to 45%, causing a physical damage with a damage rate of 67.5%, and as developed, it can go up to 22.5% for one random enemy unit, and the silence occurs for 4 seconds. Now, this is a triggered skill because every 6 seconds after the battle starts, there will always be a chance of causing this physical damage to one enemy unit and silencing them for 4 seconds. Additionally, to this skill, another active skill we can look at is Armageddon. And the reason why I'm looking at Armageddon is it's because it's one of the longest active skills with a trigger. And this skill is level 50. And when we look at this skill particularly, it has a 50-second wait time before the skill is triggered. So Every 50 seconds, this skill is triggered, and once the battle starts, it unleashes a magical attack damage rate of 480% on all enemy units. So, while this has a very long wait time, if you know your battle can go for at least 50 seconds, it's going to provide damage at 480% to all of the enemy units, drastically reducing that enemy's ability to function. So if you are building a lot of skills to protect yourself at the early game and then you're planning on getting to that 50 seconds, this is a great end game skill. But you really want to make sure your battle is going to last at least 50 seconds for the skill to come into effect, because that is the trigger for this active skill. Thank you for watching the first chapter in our lesson plan regarding Immortal skill effects and details within our developmental tab of our resource book within our game. If you liked the content, please remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you do not miss any future content moving forward. And please stay tuned for our next chapter as we explore our skills and effects within our different types of skills that we are employing on our immortals, our dragons, and our overall marches.